guys, it's Dana and it's time to talk about money. And in this video, I wanted to talk about being laid off from your job and how to deal with that, how to handle it, as well as what to do to prepare for a layoff. So let's talk about that. Okay, so recently I have heard from some friends that their companies are doing layoffs. They are doing what they are calling compression or restructuring, reorganization, downsizing, and people are being moved around or laid off. And even at my own company, this is currently happening. And it is hard to breathe, really hard to breathe. If you are pulled into a conference room or an office and told that they have eliminated your position and you are being laid off for whatever reason. And it can happen to anyone. It can happen if you are really seasoned in your job and you've been working at a place for 35 years. And it can also happen if you've been there for a month or 2 months. And so no one is immune. It's possible. It can happen to any of us. And yet when it does, it's very shocking and it makes you feel completely demoralized or as if you're not worthy, not needed. You feel betrayed. You can feel anger and most likely a lot of sadness. And it also just really is a big hit to self-confidence to be told that you're laid off. So what are some things that I think are good to do? So first off, I would say to try to be professional. It's really hard when you're called into an office and you're told, that you're being let go or, or laid off and you just feel this inside, just this internal, it's hard to even listen to whatever the person is saying. But the person on the other side most likely does not want to be having this conversation with you. It's hard for them as well. And so if you can keep your cool and stay professional, it's really going to help you out in the long run, because this is a person that perhaps can give you a reference, or they actually might even know some other people or other companies that they can refer you to or help you to find another job. So it doesn't help if you let your emotions get the better of you and you start yelling at them or you just storm out. And so you want to try to stay professional. Thank you for everything. I know this isn't your fault, or maybe it is, but you just want to try to make sure that you can maintain your cool in that meeting. Just remember, you can go home and lose your crap with your personal friends and family when you get home, but try not to do it with the people in your office that you work with or worked with. And this goes hand in hand with if they ask you to train other people to take over some of the job duties that you were doing, it can feel awful to be like, I've got to train these people to do the job that I was doing, but I'm leaving and they get to stay. But again, try not to take your anger out on those people that you're training. Try to be polite, don't be rude, and to give them your all as far as explain the job, because you don't know if you're going to work with those people again. You don't know if some of those people that you're training, you might actually need their help in the future. Perhaps they will be the hiring manager at your next company or another company in 10 years. And they're going to probably remember you if you're really rude and nasty on the way out or as you're trying to train them, because they're stressed out because most likely they don't want to be taking on the work that you're going to have to give them. And so they have to figure that out. And they're also probably feeling a sense of insecurity about their own jobs. So if you can be kind to them and show them the work, and then again, you never know when that might pay off in the future. So try to be polite. Taking care of yourself is absolutely one of the most important things. And it's okay to feel anger, but feelings do subside. In time, this might end up being the absolute best thing that ever happened to you. I firmly believe that sometimes if we don't take action in our own lives, that the universe conspires to sort of kick our butts out the door. So maybe this is that happening for you, that you are being kicked out the door for bigger and better things. You might end up in a better job that you get paid higher salary for, or you enjoy more, or work with better people. So this could be, a really big, a benefit, a blessing in your life. So if you can try to process that in the midst of the grief, have a good network around you of support. Have people who are willing to listen to you, to be encouraging, and to help lift you up, or to just let you cry for a while. But try, if you can, to not turn to drugs and alcohol, or to overspending, or to get into full-on panic mode and do something that you might regret, because these feelings will pass. And so try to take some comfort in that is one thing about being human, is that we feel the feelings, and it's good to feel them, and then they can subside and you can release it, and then you can move on. Next, if you've been laid off, is to reflect maybe on what might have gone wrong. If you can think of it in your exit interview with whoever told you the news, you could ask them, like, hey, what was something I could have done better? Because if they can give you some information like that, it might help you in your next job. So try to think about, what are some things maybe, or maybe even a different, this is your chance to reinvent yourself. You can kind of switch gears and move towards a different role within a different company. Maybe that would help you, feel a little bit more secure, or you'd enjoy more, but you can take this opportunity to reflect. And if you are laid off, try not to be a victim. You're not a victim. Nobody likes a victim. It's like, yes, it's okay to have a couple days to cry and feel bad. And I mean, I've been there crying my eyes out, being sad about stuff at work. And so it's okay. But then also you want to be empowered in your life to, you can do this, right? You can get another job. You're smart and you are capable and you're an amazing person. Other people are going to want to work with you. And so don't like walk around telling yourself like, oh, it's not, it's all their fault. I'm just such a victim in this case. Like, no one's going to really enjoy being around that. And you're not going to enjoy being around yourself if you're like that. I mean, the way we all talk to ourselves is absolutely horrendous. I mean, so many of us, I think, would never talk to another human being the way we talk to ourselves. And so we have to try to treat ourselves special and kind the way we would treat someone else. And if you had a friend that was just laid off, I'm sure the things you would be saying to them are not the things that you're saying to yourself right now that you've been laid off. So you have to try to switch that. Speak to yourself the way you would speak to your best friend or to your child or to your sister. And that's really going to help you because, this is just a portion of who you are, a part of your life. It's not all of who you are. And it is scary when you have bills and you have a family or you have a home that you need to pay for. It's real, and it's not to minimize the impact of losing your job and your income, but you have to just believe that you are going to be able to find something else. And listen, it's going to be all right. Now let's talk about some ways you can plan for it if you haven't been laid off, but you're scared that you will. All right, so first off the bat is to network, and start now. So what that means is get off your seat, get out of your seat and walk across the office and chit chat with different people, different coworkers, people in different departments. Try to start building relationships with people, like actually care about them, ask about their weekend, how are you doing? And it's a leadership quality, because when I'm in the office and people are all sitting in their offices or in their cubicles, it's amazing to me that people they don't get up and they don't leave their seat. And I always, even when I don't feel like it, make a point to get up and walk over to different people and say, hi, how are you? How's it going? How was your day? Or, how's that project going that you're working on? Like, I specifically get up and try to make relationships with people. So you can start that today. So you can begin just kind of like actually taking some time to call people, just say, oh, hey, this isn't work related. Just want to see how you're doing. And just try to make friends. I mean, it's something that you do need to think about, and it will help you in the future, honestly. And even within your own company, if they are talking about, doing some kind of compression or whatever they're doing, if you're one of the people that everyone likes, then they're most likely going to keep you and try to at least maybe slide you into another role if they can. So try to start relationship building now. Second is to, of course, save money. Of course, I had to say that, right? On my channel, you need to start saving. Try to reduce your expenses and try to build a big war chest on the side, an emergency fund. So that way, if you do lose your job, if you are laid off, you won't have to have so much panic, because at least you know that you'll be able to pay your mortgage or pay your expenses for the next 6 months or maybe even a year. I like a 1-year emergency fund, to be honest. It makes me feel more comfortable. And so if you can do that, start working on it now. There's a lot of, I have other videos, I'll link one up below on how to build your emergency fund, but it's something that you should start doing immediately, is to try to start saving an emergency fund. Third is to say yes. That this is something that I did at my job. I didn't used to be like this, but I was reading some kind of career advice book. And now anytime people come to me and ask me to do stuff or help out, I try to say yes, right? And you don't want to become a doormat at work either, but you also don't want to be the person to be like, that's not my job. I'm not doing that. I mean, if you can help people out, they will remember it. And again, the more things you can learn at work, the more valuable you become, and you help to insulate yourself from a layoff. If you can be one of the people that knows how to do a ton of stuff, so you're much more diverse and you can slide into different roles if need be. So I would say, try to say yes, or say, how can I help you with that? Is there something I can do to, make your life easier? And like I said, you don't want to get completely overwhelmed at work. And I do see that sometimes people end up becoming doormats, but you don't want to constantly be like, no, that's not my job. I'm not doing that. Try to consider saying yes more often, especially if you're one of these people, if you are one of the people like me who does get anxiety about the idea of losing your job. I actually have nightmares at night. Like, that's my nightmares, is that I accidentally quit my job and then the next morning I'm like, oh no, I didn't want to quit. I didn't mean to quit. And then that's the kind of nightmares that I have. Okay. And then have your resume written out. Have a resume saved on your wherever, your work computer or your home computer. Just make sure you keep it updated. Just have it updated. That way you have your job description. It's better to do it when you're calm and not laid off and not job hunting, because then you can kind of get everything written out. But if you switch roles within your company or go to another company, go ahead and update your resume again. Like, just make sure everything on there is up to date. Whatever software you know how to do, or if you're, make sure everything is on there. And as you improve and learn new things, add it on your resume. Now, if you do want to see that video that I did on how to save an emergency fund, I'll go ahead and link that here. And if you do, I'll see you in that video. Bye, guys.